We are going to do mixed operations. So before we start, I just want to share two principles that you must just write down and just keep you at all times, because you're going to need this quite a lot in mathematics. So the first principle is a term I want to call BODMAS. What this just means, if we have a lot of operations, plus, minuses, and brackets, then we usually want to know in what order we want to do the question. So this just means brackets. So the first thing we're going to do is the brackets. The second one that we're going to do, this you can look together, that is division and multiplication. That's the D and the M. And then the A and the S, that two we look together, and that is addition and subtraction. So if you remember this word, then you will remember what to do, BODMAS. So first is the brackets. The second part we do is the division and multiplication. And the third part we do is the addition and subtraction. The brackets will be anything that looks like this, things with a bracket. Division and multiplication will be the division sign, and this is the multiplication sign. Addition will be the plus, and subtraction will be the minus. So just write this down in a maybe nice way that you can remember it, because we're going to use this quite a lot going forward. Then the second thing that I want to do is just, if we usually talk about a plus and a minus and a minus and a plus. So that's what if we multiply two integers together. So another thing you must just remember is just a plus and a plus gives a plus and a minus gives a minus and a plus gives a minus, and a minus and a minus gives a plus. I'll explain this now, and if we do the sums, then you will see what I mean. So this also, just write it down and keep this with you. I would literally say forever while you do maths. Okay. So let's start with the questions. So here we have the first one is 20 plus 2 minus 4. So remember BODMAS. If you look on your page, you will see the BODMAS. You first do the brackets. So here's the brackets, and then we do the other ones. So do that one first, and this we can do second. So let's start with the brackets. So here we have, if we have nothing in front of the 2, always remember there's an invisible plus. So let's just write the 20 first this side. And now we're first going to do the brackets. So 2 multiplied by 4, that gives us 8. Just keep this in a bracket. And then the plus and a minus. Now, this is what I'm talking about where you say a plus and a minus, is because we're going to multiply the 2 multiplied by minus 4. So once we do this, 2 plus 2 multiplied by minus 4, this is where I'm referring to on your other page, where you have a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus. So the plus and a minus, if you look on your page, that will give you a minus. So now we have 20 plus minus 8, but let's just get rid of this bracket. So keep the 20 and the plus and a minus, like if you look on your page, you probably have the answer. That is a minus 8. And that answer is 12. So let's just double check everything again. There we have 20 plus 2 times 4 is 8, plus and a minus is a minus. And then the 20, the plus and the minus becomes a minus, and 20 minus 8 equals 12. So that looks correct. So that was the first question number 1. So that's question 1. So let's go over to question 2. So question 2 is a little bit longer. 2 times minus 3 plus minus 5 times minus 4. times and a times and a multiplication is the same thing. So instead of saying 2 multiplied by -3, I'm just going to say 2 times -3. So let's start with the BODMAS. If you look on your page, you will see, let's start with the brackets first. So here's a couple of brackets. Then we have a plus sign, and then we have another couple of brackets there. So let's do this one first. Keep the plus sign, and then we're going to do this one second, and let's see how we progress. So let's start with the first one. 2 times -3. So we're going to say 2 times 3 is 6. And then if there's nothing in front of the 2, there's an invisible plus. So that plus and a minus is going to give us a minus. Then we have the plus in the middle. And let's do the second part. 5 times 4. Always do the numbers first, and thereafter I do the signs. So let's do the numbers. 5 times 4, which is 20. And just keep this in a bracket for now. And then we're going to do the signs, minus and a minus. If you look on your page, you will see it is a plus. Let's neaten this up a bit. On the left side, we have the -6. And here we have the plus and the plus. If you look on your page, that will give us a plus 20. And that answer will be 14. Let's just double check again. 2 times -3, yes, that's -6. And -5 times -4, yes, that's 20. And the -6 plus 20 gives us 14. If I say 14, that's a plus 14. We don't need to write the plus down. So that was question 2. Let's do another couple of examples. So question 3. So here we have -10. Keep that in a bracket. Divide by, I'm going to put a big bracket in here. And inside the big bracket is 3 times 5 minus 5 times 2. So now what do we start first? Because now we see a lot of brackets. So if you see something like this, going back to your BODMAS page, we're first going to do the brackets. But in this case, we have a big bracket here. That means a big bracket. And the rounder ones means a smaller bracket. So what we're going to do, we're going to first tackle the big bracket. So that's first. And then we're going to tackle, like another color, the insides of the bracket. So that's going to be 2. And maybe that's going to be 3. And just keep that minus sign in mind. And thereafter, we're going to do the -10. So it's quite a lot of things we're going to do now. So let's just do it step by step. So if I say we're going to do this first, let's just write everything down on the left-hand side. So just write keep the -10 and the division sign for now. We're going to remove it later. So let's first do the big bracket. And if I say, let's do the big bracket first, just keep everything inside of the big bracket. Draw the big bracket like I did, and then let's first work everything inside. So now we're going to do, still in the big bracket, now we're going to do the 3 times 5. And 3 times 5, if there's nothing there, it's an invisible plus. So usually you can just say 3 times 5, and that answer will be 15. So that answer is 15. Write down the minus. And then 5 times 2, that answer will give us 10. So inside the big bracket, we have now 15 minus 10. And let's write that answer down while we have it. And as you can see, I just try to keep everything underneath each other. So 15 minus 10, that gives us 5. But just keep in mind, we still have the things on the left-hand side. So write that down just like that. So let's just neaten this up a bit so that it looks right. And I'm just going to do this in proper maths. So if this was, you can write it another way. Here you have minus 10. The division there means divide. So there you can say divide by. And here we only have 5. There's nothing else in the bracket. I'm going to say divide by 5. So the answer is going to be, for now, it's only going to be minus 10 divided by 5. And if you work that out, you'll get minus 2. Let's just double check again. So we did the 3 times 5 is 15. There's a minus. 5 times 2 is 10. 15 minus 10 gives us 5. We're just going to neaten this up. So I'm going to write minus 10 divide by. So this divide by is this line over here. Divide by the 5. So minus 10 divided by 5 gives us minus 2. And that was question 3. Let's do 2 more. Next one. So this is question 4. So this is 20 times 2 divided by, again, a big bracket. Put the big, so open it on the left and close on the right. And we have minus 2 times minus 4 and just a minus 4. So let's look at BODMAS. What can we group together? So there's the big bracket. Let's do that first. And then inside the big bracket, we're going to do this one second. And then leave the minus 4 as is. And we're going to do that one as well. But this is also a bracket, so we can do that. Actually, we can do that first as well, because it is a bracket outside of the other bracket. So let's just see how I proceed with this. So I'm actually going to start with this one. So the 20 multiplied by 2, that gives us 40. Then we keep the division sign. Now we're going to do the big bracket, open and close. Then we're going to do 2 multiplied by 4, because that's the second one we're going to do. 2 multiplied by 4 gives us 8. And a minus and a minus. If you look on your page, you'll get a plus. And just keep the other minus 4 there as is. Let's continue. The 40 we keep like that. And there's still a bracket here. So for now, let's first simplify this bracket before we continue. 40 divided by, so just keep that bracket for now. We have 8, excuse me. So we have the 8 and the minus 4, but that is just a normal. This is not 8 times minus 4. This is just a normal sum, for example, 2 plus 3 or 8 minus 4. There's no brackets, no multiplication involved in this. So in this case, you have just an 8 minus 4, and that gives us 4. And at the end, you have 40 divided by 4. You can do it just like that, write the answer 10. Or you can say 40 divided by 4, which is 10. You can write it either way, whatever you prefer. So let's just double check our answers again. There's 20 times 2, which gives us 40. There's a division sign, it stays the same. So keep that for now there. We have the 2, minus 2 times minus 4 gives us plus 8. We keep the minus 4 over there. Then we have 40 divided by 8 minus 4 gives us 4. And 40 divided by 4 gives us 10. So that's number 2. Sorry, question 4. Last one. And I think you already know this by now. So let's just, so this is question 5. I'm just going to do it slightly different. Minus 20 divided by 4 minus 15 plus 10. Looks simple, but there's just a couple of things that I just want to explain in this one. Again, let's do the BODMAS. So there's a minus, so this is a term. Yes, a bracket. So let's see, maybe do that one as well. So let's start with that one, because there's a bracket, but this is a that's a bracket. The division, because this is a term, so we can basically split this up like this. So this is term 1, term 2, term 3. So if it's like that, we can actually do everything together. So let's, as long as the terms are kept separate. So let's do the minus 20 divided by 4 first. So 20 divided by 4, that gives us 5. And again, if there's nothing in front of the 4, there's an invisible plus. And again, the minus and the plus. If you look on your page, you'll see a minus. Now let's do the second one. If there's nothing in front of the bracket, there's always an invisible 1. So here we're going to say minus 1 times minus 15. And that answer is going to be 1 times 15 is 15. And the minus gives us a plus. Let's do the third term. Third term stays just like that. That is plus 10. Let's add everything up. And from here, you can see there's no brackets, no nothing. So we just work with plain numbers. And now we can just go forth and just add this up. So let's just start with the pluses first. So 15 plus 10 gives us 25. And 25 minus 5 gives us 20. So this answer is going to be 20. Double check. 20 divided by 4, or minus 20 divided by 4 gives us minus 5. Minus 15 is a plus 15. And plus 10, that stays the same. And that answer will be 20. Just a quick tip. Here, let's do this with another color. There you'll see a minus and a minus 15. And you saw how I worked it out in the question. But just going forward, if you have a minus, something like this, minus 15, say 3 minus 15. What you can do, as you can see in the previous sum, it actually becomes a plus. So going forward, you can just write it like this, 3 plus 15, and write the answer. Just do another one. So if we have 5 minus 4, that becomes 5 minus 4, 5 plus 4, and that answer will be 9. So just what I just want to highlight, this plus, this minus and minus. If you look at on your page, you'll see the minus and the minus becomes a plus. That's why this becomes this plus over here, and this minus and a minus here becomes this plus over here. Thank you very much. Goodbye.